What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Panda here, and today we are going into the second day of GVG, Guild versus Guild. Today we're actually going to be watching a highlight from my stream. You guys can check that out in the description below. It's just twitch.tv/a_rescue_panda. I'm trying to stream a couple days a week, typically on the front end of the week. We might be live tonight if you're watching this video the day it's released, and we will be doing some cool stuff on there. But we just finished up stream just a little bit ago, right before I'm recording this video, and we decided to attempt our Guild Wars for day 2. And this is a highlight, so I wanted to kind of, do a little bit of a reaction to how we did it and kind of give you my thought process of what I was thinking while I was doing it. So I'm going to go ahead and just let this start playing in the background. I don't have the sound turned on because you don't need to hear me twice. That's a bit ridiculous, but these are the only demon soldiers that I have at the moment. I don't have that many because I haven't farmed a lot, especially of the higher stages. And of course, guild boss is not kind to me. But you'll see here that we have some decent teams, but a lot of them are missing kind of key components. And so our strategy here is to just kind of try and overwhelm them. We're using the same team as the video you probably saw earlier today, because I'm releasing 2 videos today for GVG, because I recorded the first one and decided to release it this morning. And then this one will be coming out a little bit later in the day. But these are 2 separate matches, of course. And so we're using the free guy that you got as the front line because they are pretty tanky when paired with my units. And then we have another set of fighters, and then we have 3 mages, the little spiders, followed by our speedy carrion hounds. So you'll kind of see that the goal here is to distract their front line, potentially kill off one of their front lines or one of their DPS, and then be able to just kind of blow through with the carrion hound. So you'll see here that we already have 4 people up in the front, and our AoE from the fighters is just killing them, right? They're using a single target healer in a light lock, and they're just not able to keep up with the damage. And so we're able to get an easy win for that one. And then we're just going to fight the same team again, and the same thing happens. So we're going to go ahead and move on to the next set of fights that we do here. And you'll see that these teams have some better heroes, right? Like there's a few teams that I avoided because like I saw Silas and Vierna, and I'm like, that means they have their buff. It's just too much. So you'll see here we go in against this team because I see all 5 stars, and I figure this is a pretty easy team to fight. We can easily take it down, and get a free dub. And so we were able to fight it twice, get the win, and go from there. So then we moved on. And we'll go ahead and move up here a little bit. And you'll see, here we go. We decided to fight this top team. Now, this top team has some good units, including a healer in Ezrin, a Hatsut, which is just really strong, and both an Abomination, and I believe that's an Azor. I think. I'm not 100% positive, but I believe it's Azor. And you'll see we use the same strat, right? We're using those 2 tanky people in the front line to distract. We have our 2 like tanky-ish damage dealers with that big AoE in order to just kind of burn through their front line and then walk right through with our spiders and our hounds. Our hounds don't even make it, right? Like, because we're getting through so quick. However, I want you to keep in mind that at this point, our teams have been stronger than the teams we've been fighting, right? 160k versus our 207k. So we have a pretty large deficit on the opposing team, right? They are 40k below us. And so we're able to kind of just storm through. So I was curious about what would happen if we fought someone that was a little bit stronger. And so we did end up going against someone stronger. We'll go ahead and move into here. And I believe it was, I believe it's these teams right here. Which is the garrison leader. And so we decided to take on this team. The reason I decided to take on this team is because there's no healer. And because we have those 2 frontline AoE mobs, I figured we can probably slowly whittle them down and they'll just die. And because there's no healer, they have no real sustain. I was slightly concerned because they do have Lunaria, which is that Piercer Lord, which gives them tons of range. So they have the ability to just kind of take people out. And you'll see here that I had some reason to be concerned. They are shredding my front line, right? Our first guy is dead. They're already about halfway done with that second guy. But then you'll see our mages take out Idril. The melee guys take out everyone else, and we're able to get the win. So my strategy there did work, being able to choose a person that didn't have a sustained healer. And this is something that I think you guys should also learn about, that when you are setting your own defenses, you want to make sure you have a healer. And the reason is because you'll have these things that just kind of do constant damage. And your goal is to keep them from your base. And so if your units die, you can't deal enough damage to take out the enemies, and so you're just going to lose. And so I think that's something to keep in mind when you're setting your defenses. I know that when I set my defenses, I had a Light Lock on one and my Medon on the other, because of course I hadn't pulled my Vortex and all my other units. So my defense are very much outdated at this point, but hopefully when we get into GVG 2.0, I'll be able to set a better defense at that point. But again, we get the second victory here, and it went quite well. And so now we're going to go ahead and attempt another fight. And I believe that this is the stronger fight. Yeah, so this is the King Hars right here. And here you see they did not make the same mistake as the previous, and they have a Vortex in this slot right here, which is going to heal them all. They also have a Volca, and Volca does have healing for the team when she's on the field, so there is actually quite a large amount of healing. This is the one I was really testing my limits to try and see, am I going to be able to beat someone who's stronger than me in terms of BP, but also has a pretty well thought out plan, right? You'll see here that the Mari is able to hit both lanes with that freeze, stopping my first line of offense and my second line of offense. And because of the shields from Vortex and the heals coming in, it's very difficult for me to get through. You'll see here they get another freeze off and they just obliterate us. We did, however, get 2 units through before they were able to take out our whole team. And so that kind of shows the power of this swarming strategy, where you just get through their block. You get through their block and you're able to get the win. I think if I had a set of healers that I could use, I would do a lot better, right? I would be able to keep that front line alive a little bit longer and be able to break through that block a little bit faster. But we were able to get the win there, and we did have one final battle. So we decided to go ahead and fight this last team here, which was an interesting combo. I was a little confused why they decided to bring in, and this isn't the fight, it's the one below with the Wrath Lord. And I was a little concerned. I was like, why did you bring Wrath in this team? You have no other Nightmare units. It feels a little wonky. And they are using, I think it's Harpoon, as well as a Nyx and a Theowen, and their placement felt weird because they have Theowen over here in the corner, right? He's over here in the corner, and that just doesn't quite fit. Like, what is he there for? You'll see the strategy, and I don't think the strategy is necessarily wrong for the defense here, because his goal is to kind of nuke down your opponents and then clear them with Theowen, and you'll see the strategy actually works quite well. And I would be concerned if they were even or higher BP than me, because I think in that case they would have been whittled down enough that Theowen ultimate might have actually done some damage, which could have caused an immense amount of problems, right? However, because we did have the little bit of a gap in terms of power, about 30k or so, we were able to get the victory. Ultimately, I think this whole wave of GVG is very interesting. However, I can definitely understand why they would want to change things up, because there is a lot of things that just feel a little weird, right? A few things that just feel a little weird. So I am excited to see what happens going forward, but I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below. Let me know if you guys want to see the rest of my GVGs. I think I'm going to record them or stream them if possible. However, I do start work in the next few days, so I might not be able to record all of them, but I will do my best to record as many as possible so you guys can see them going forward. But guys, that was day 2, fight 2 of GVG. We were victorious in our first, by the way. We did end up winning that battle, so that was nice. Hopefully we win this next one. But that's going to be it for me today, guys. Please don't forget to like the video if you like it, leave a comment down below with that information I asked you about, and subscribe to see more of my content on your guys' feed. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.